In this video, I show you the difference between a beautifully maintained Victorian room and a renovated Victorian room. This is my beautifully maintained living room. You can see the original work. When you renovate, often this will disappear. The walls are the original plaster. You see that the door to the dining room are closed. It's because in winter this room is more difficult to heat because it's less insulated, so I heat it less. Now I will show you inside the construction of a wall of a Victorian house which date from 1890. The house was built in 1890. At that time they put pieces of wood like that. They insert grey plaster, and on the top of the grey plaster they put a fine layer of white plaster. The grey plaster may contain asbestos fiber to make it stronger. People who live in the house usually are not worried about it because it's stable in the wall, but when you renovate, people put a mask and they handle the waste material as required by the environmental legislation. On the picture, you see the first technology that was used to distribute electricity in the house. It's a steel wire. In my house, there is one room that was not renovated, which is the living room, and still use these types of wires. There is about 7 feet from the base of the fixture to the top of the door. From there it's on copper. There is also 3 feet between a power outlet and a junction box in the basement. From there it's on copper. So other than these 10 feet of old steel wires, in my house everywhere it is copper wires. The entrance, the 200 amp, is done with aluminum as usual. This is a renovated room. It's the dining room. All the wood, a small piece of wood have been removed. The plaster have been removed. While the wall was open, all the rewiring was done. It's all new electricity for the power outlet, for the baseboard heater, and I've also placed other wires, for example, maybe for the telephone, for the phone. And these, they are, I think it's American wire gauge 16, which is quite big wires. They may be used, for example, to install speakers. Instead of running the speaker wire along the wall, it is in the wall. So when the wall is open, it's the right time to redo all the electricity. And when the wall inside the house are open, you also redo the water pipes. So there is insulation. When you look at it in here, there is that pink insulation. It's easier to keep it warm in the winter. And you have the vapor barrier, that piece of plastic. The vapor barrier is there. I've put plywood on top of all that to add a lot of rigidity to the wall. It's a very strong wall. And there is a 1/2 inch G-Proc sheet on top of all that. So that's a renovated wall. The house is heated with gas hot water, but it's difficult to adjust the temperature in every room because the valves often are stuck. So you have a limited ability to adjust the temperature in one specific room using the gas hot water system. But when the wall is open, you can wire electric baseboard. So in the dining room, you have a both heating system. This is the thermostat that controls the baseboard. It's a programmable thermostat. When the walls are open, it's possible to install all these things. These are the switch for the lights and also one switch control outlet. This is an interconnected smoke detector. It is fed with the 115 volts and it is interconnected to other smoke detectors on each floor, so that if the fire is detected on one floor, they all sound the alarm. That's the ceiling. It's insulated with fiberglass in my case. In old house, it's often insulated with sawdust. You can imagine how dry it is after 135 years. And if you use steel wires, there is some risk of fire if an animal like a squirrel or a rat get roasted in between these wires. It could set a fire.